Guys, this popped up early this afternoon around 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Of course, there was no comment when both came out of court today. Dennis Bradley, who is a lawyer by trade, has been a state senator since 2018. He's free on $300,000 bond, and his campaign treasurer, dating back to 2018, she's free on $250K. According to the federal grand jury indictment, State Senator Dennis Bradley of Bridgeport and his campaign treasurer, Jessica Martinez, were charged Tuesday for illegally trying to grab nearly $180,000 from the state's public campaign financing system. They were both charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, false statements, and false declaration to a grand jury. In response, State Senate President Martin Looney immediately removed Bradley from all legislative committee assignments, and he had his title of Deputy Majority Leader taken away. Federal prosecutors said Bradley and his campaign lied about expenditures and other campaign finance issues, so therefore they were not qualified to receive over $84,000 in primary campaign grant money in 2018. And after winning the primary that year, they applied for more than $95,000 in taxpayer-financed campaign grant money for the general election, but they were denied as an investigation had begun. The indictment says that on May 29th of 2018, a campaign volunteer texted Bradley saying, quote, "Don't worry, Dennis, if you go to jail, you're a lot cuter than the volunteer named a current elected official who had been in federal prison." And the text continued, "You will be okay, and I'll make sure your commissary always has enough so you can make toilet wine and mofongo." Of course, mofongo, a popular Puerto Rican dish that was referenced in that text message and shown in the indictment. Of course, current Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim and former state senator and current city councilman Ernie Newton have both been convicted of political crimes. We're live here in New Haven. Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.